Did you know that the Rothschilds are considered one of the richest and most influential families in the history of mankind? And their financial rules, laid down by founder Mayer Amschel Rothschild, are still used by almost all modern billionaires. Imagine if you could too follow these golden principles and get on the path to wealth and success in no time at all. In this video, we are going to talk about those very benchmark Rothschild pieces of advice. Some of them may surprise and even shock you, but if you perceive their words correctly, financial success is guaranteed. This is the main channel on finance. Subscribe and get on the path to wealth today. The story of the Rothschild family started from a Jewish boy, Mayer Amschel from Frankfurt, who first opened an antique shop where he sold coins found on the dump and then managed to build a big banking business and create his own empire. His business was continued by his 5 sons. By the end of his life, Mayer Amschel created a series of rules which the Rothschilds are guided to this day, and it allows them to remain one of the most influential people on the planet. For more than 200 years, the Rothschild family has been following the legacy of its founder. Over the centuries, family members have engaged in transactions of truly historic proportions. The image of all-powerful puppeteers who operate behind the scenes has been shaped by their activities. For example, conspiracy theorists were convinced that the famous family, whose activities were not limited to any particular territory, controlled the world's finances with the help of the Federal Reserve and even created pandemics. And this means one thing. If there is so much intrigue and secrecy around the Rothschild family, it means they really know how to succeed. Let's talk about their rules right now. Rule number 1, finances are for family only. Mayer Rothschild said that all important positions in business should be held only by family members, not by employees. All financial matters should rely on male family members. The men of the family should marry their cousins or third cousins, so that the accumulated property would remain within the family and serve the common cause. Daughters should marry aristocrats, preserving their faith. No matter what the situations the family faces, its property must not be seized and the amount of the fortune must not be made public, not even in a will. Disputes and conflicts that arise between family members must be resolved within the family, preserving the unity and steadfastness of the home. Information about all firms, businesses, and banks belonging to the family must be kept strictly confidential. Moreover, Mayer Rothschild pointed out the importance of the fact that only male descendants could take part in business, and that only direct male heirs could inherit. Mayer prescribed that the eldest son should be the head of the family unless the brothers unanimously agreed otherwise. If we leave out the gender issue, which in today's world may be unnecessarily wild, the family aspect is worth looking at. The currently living richest people of our planet also continue to follow this rule. Warren Buffett's sons were at one time directors and board members of their father's companies, and the children of Europe's richest man, Bernard Arnault, still occupy some positions in the family business. Perhaps this Rothschild rule is connected to some prejudices of their ancestor, and still, such advice should not be overlooked. Rule number 2, profit is paramount. The Rothschild family charter has important words. Everything must be profitable, even hobbies. In 1853, one of the descendants of the Rothschilds, Nathaniel, acquired for a fantastic at the time amounting to more than 1 million francs. Winery Brand Moten. At the time, everyone thought it was crazy of a young rich man, but it was well thought out. The purchase was the beginning of a new and very profitable direction in the family business, winemaking. Try to think about your skills, habits, and hobbies on the income side. You may not even realize that your hobbies can bring in money and not even a little money. Think about which of your favorite hobbies can be a launching pad for enrichment. And most importantly, if you see even the slightest hint of a prospect, start to act. It's not for nothing that Henry Ford said, "The best job is a high-paying hobby." Give this video a thumbs up if you agree with that thought. And even if you think otherwise, give us a thumbs up to support us and our efforts in creating useful videos for you. Rule number 3, mind the measure. The Rothschild family knew not to chase exorbitant profits and shielded themselves from any accidents. Each descendant had to know the measure of everything and never lose sight of the goal. Following this rule, the sons of Mayer Rothschild did so, trying to invest only in thoughtful and solid long-term projects. Yes, sometimes some family members were tempted to make a quick buck, but at their core, they always kept their focus on a specific, verified, and solid goal. We can often get caught up in quick achievements and highs. However, such rapid success is always followed by an equally steep downhill slide. Chasing fast money can have disastrous consequences. One either loses all that money and goes to the bottom, or acquiring a lot of capital loses one's reputation. Having defined your goal, you should follow it to the end, not allowing external factors to change your course. Rule number 4, modesty equals wealth. Mayer Rothschild was convinced that modesty leads to fabulous wealth. So far, the combined fortune of the Rothschilds, according to the most conservative estimates, ranges from $2 to $4 trillion. The family is very careful to conceal their income and the controlled capital they have. Now, take a look at the really rich people of today. Modestly dressed, not showing off their mansions, yachts, and other expensive possessions. Donating enormous amounts of money to charity. This is how really rich people behave. They are not pretentious and don't need unnecessary attention to their lives. No wonder the Rothschilds emphasized modesty. Rule number 5, information is the key to success. Did you know that the famous phrase, "He who has the information owns the world," belongs to the Rothschilds, and more specifically to the founder of the English branch of the Nathan dynasty? In the 19th century, the timely knowledge helped the whole family to make the largest fortune at that time. The whole point was that it was the Rothschilds who first learned of Napoleon's defeat at the Battle of Waterloo against the British. At that moment, when everyone was in the dark about who had won the decisive battle, Nathan Rothschild immediately began selling his shares en masse. All the other stockbrokers immediately followed suit as they thought the British had lost the battle. Panic ensued. English, Austrian, and Prussian securities were becoming cheaper by the minute. The London Stock Exchange was literally bursting with depreciated stocks. At the same moment, Rothschild's front agents were secretly buying them up. The fact that Napoleon lost the battle, the stock exchange learned only a day later. Then, Rothschild earned £40 million in one day and seized a large share of the British economy. Nathan Rothschild's brother Jacob did the same thing on the Paris Stock Exchange. The family could navigate the flow of information really well. They did everything they could so that they would be the first to get the information. An example like this is a clear definition of how information that is relevant, fresh, and verified can make a big difference in success. Provide yourself with knowledge and data that you can use to your advantage. Take an interest in new technologies, ways to make money, and anything that may seem unrealistic today, but may very well take your finances to the next level tomorrow. One of the main principles which all Rothschilds adhered to, at least until the beginning of the 20th century, was not to be afraid to take risks when investing money in new projects and ideas. It is followed by a second, no less important rule: money must work. It is a well-known fact, which was not discovered by the Rothschilds. However, they have raised this simple truth almost to the rank of ideology. Interestingly, the Rothschilds have never been on the top lists of Forbes. Meanwhile, analysts believe that the family controls up to half of the money turnover in the world. Guys, share in the comments what lesson about money in your life was the most important and instructive. Let's share with each other some helpful tips that will encourage all of us to become richer even faster. I've already written my lesson, and that is all I have. This is the main channel on finance. Subscribe and get rich.